Highland Games.
Yeah, buddy, in the rain.
In the rain.
In the rain.
Let's do it. Welcome to the 98% podcast, where we hear real stories from real people. And we're here with another special episode of the Highland Games with the gang. And we have a new person on this particular episode. And we'll start with Jacob, actually. We'll go around and just do brief introductions. So, Jacob, tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. I'm Jacob Kirkwood. I'm originally from Illinois, actually not far from where these guys competed. But I live in Prior Lake, Minnesota, just south of Minneapolis. And I really like to throw stuff, specifically Highland Games related, but track and field background. Been around Highland Games for about 5 years and trying to see if I can go pro.
Nice. And I guess we should specify. So what ranking are you right now for amateur men?
I am the number one in the country, which is weirdly weird to say.
There we go. Chip's jealous.
It gives me something to drive towards, okay?
Okay, Chip, you're next.
I'm Chip Sloan, the number 40-something amateur. That's a little 45, a little further down on the ranks.
No, 54, I think.
It was 45, okay? It's 45, Mr. Dyslexic. Which, by the way, my coach, Jacob Langworthy, called me a dyslexic bastard the other day because in the screenshot that I put on my Instagram and Facebook story about like good morning text, where he sent me like this snapshot and circled my elbow and he just said, no. Well, I didn't realize I had his name spelled Jacob with a D on the end. And he's like, you spelled my name wrong, you dyslexic bastard. And I was like, well, now it's staying. It's like, I'm not changing it now. Which is funny because I've never, I'm not dyslexic, but so whatever. I'll take that one. Anyway, I'm a professional at nothing. So I got nothing. And that's me.
What? That's all you're leaving us with, Chip?
It's okay. I'm used to disappointing people.
Okay. Okay. Let's do Lane next.
Hi, I'm Lane. I guess if we're hi, this is not an intervention, I promise. So if we're gonna go introducing rankings. I'm 53rd right now, so not doing too bad. I've been on here a couple times, so if you've listened before, you know what I've said because I don't know what I've said. I also come from a track background. Been it for about 3 years, and yeah, we're having a grand old time.
Nice. Tiffany, you didn't have to go first this time.
I'm so glad I didn't have to go first. I'm actually really excited that I got to go last. Uh, Tiffany, I am a stay-at-home mom and a reader, and obviously I do Highland Games. That's like my fun thing, my hobby, I guess. If we're doing rankings, I don't know what I'm ranking. I was 6 before sweet corn for lightweight women, and then I threw garbage. I know how did it walk.
You're currently
I'm
4.
sure that affected my rankings quite substantially, I would assume.
The no hiding? No, it just does. It just shows whatever your best is. So your best is still 16 foot
Yep, you're good.
Oh,
or the 21.
I don't know how those work. I'm just here having a good time. And as my socks that match my kilt always say, I'm fighting for my life out here. So I'm just, doing my best at throwing all this stuff. I didn't come from a track background or anything or any sport. I did theater. I did competitive theater. So, yeah, I don't know. It's fun though. And now all
Nice.
you weird people have roped me into this podcast.
I'm so glad you're on the podcast.
That's a really bold.
That's a here. Okay.
I was gonna say that's a really bold statement coming from you.
I know. As soon as I said, I was like, ooh.
Cool. Okay. I can't remember. Do I introduce myself typically on here?
I don't know. Do it. You should do it.
I'll do
We
it.
all have
I'll
to do it. You should do it.
Okay, Ricky, founder of the 98% podcast, if you're watching this. Do a lot of music, have a daughter, love doing any type of sport, do have a track background. Track background is mostly hurdles and jumping events. However, I did shot put just to beat throwers at, so I sarcastically got good at shot put. And then... But yeah, I think that's it for the most part. Been doing Highland Games. I think that was my 4th one. 2nd at lightweight, because I did my first 2 at heavyweight. So it's been a blast. So I got some fun stories to tell. So I'm excited about our story time. But Chip, for people that have not watched the Highland Games real quick, give us the quick breakdown of the events and things, because you got this.
Okay, you got 9 events. You got the most famous one, caber, where you flip a log end over end. Sheep toss. You use an antique pitchfork and a weighted bag, throw it over a bar. Weight over bar, you take a weight and throw it over a bar. Then you have 2 hammer events. You have a light and a heavy. The weights vary depending on what class you are and all that stuff. You keep your feet planted, swing it around over your head, and chuck it behind you. Then you have 2 weights for distance, where you throw weights for a distance. Weights vary depending on class and ranking and all that jazz. Then you have stones, which is like a shot put, except we use 2 different rocks, depending on, and the weights depend on ranking, all that jazz. You have your Braemar stone, which feet planted, throw like a shot put, and then you have your open stone, where you're allowed an approach up to the trig. That's the 9 events.
Chip, that was efficient. I think your first one went like 15 minutes. So that was you broke down every single weight for men, women.
Well, that's what I realized. I quit saying, like, I told myself that today, like, don't say the weights. Just say weights vary depending on whatchamacallit. So.
Okay, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. Thank you, Chip. Okay, so now let's just open the floor. Just chat about our experiences at our two different places. I guess Jacob, we start with you since you were the only one that wasn't at the event we were at, even though we all competed on the same day. So, what was your experience?
That's true. I was bummed to not be with you guys. The Chatham Sweet Corn Festival is, if not the first, was one of the first games I ever did back in, man, it'd be like 2018, maybe something like that, when I was in college. And the only thing I knew how to throw in Highland Games was the stone. And so that game has a special place in my heart. So I was hoping to do it this year, but my local game, like my home game, fell on the same weekend. So we had the Minnesota Scottish Fair, which happens at McAllister College. So we throw on a college. The college is the outfield of the softball field, which is kind of cool. So the McAllister is in Minneapolis, and it is a Scottish college. Like their mascot is actually like it's the Scots. It's like the Highland cow, like the cow with like bangs that are kind of adorable. And so very Scottish kind of college. So there's the whole bagpiping and dancing and all of that as well. So it's like a true festival. And we throw on the softball field. The football field is kind of raised on a berm, so they had stadium seating on the kind of on the football field for the crowd to watch. And there's a pretty decent crowd this year, which was cool. So we had a good crew for us. I would say probably 30-ish athletes, something like that. It's not a massive game, but a really good turnout fan wise, and a bunch of my friends and family got to come, which was pretty awesome. So. Yeah, it was a really, really cool event. It's like 30 minutes from my house, so it's the closest game to me. Otherwise, I typically have to travel a bit. But yeah, it was awesome. I can kind of pause before you want me to go into scores now, or let you guys kind of talk a little more about Chatham.
Well, I have a very important question. Was it dry?
It was so dry. It was gorgeous weather.
You know,
I felt bad, guys. I was talking with our mutual friend Josh Veach, who threw with us down at Kirksville, and because he came up, his game is closer to him, and he at some point told me during the day, I think maybe he was talking to Chip or I can't, one of you guys, and he's like, "Oh, Chatham is just getting destroyed right now with rain."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I posted it on my story of it just absolute downpour. Because I had one clip where it, like went over to like the women in the field and they're holding the umbrellas at an angle because it's just coming sideways, and they're just out in the field, like with an umbrella. It just getting slammed with rain.
Well, that wind was strong enough that it broke the standards for one of the height events. Like those are flat walls essentially.
Yeah,
I got the selective no right as it fell too. I got it on my video.
Oh, that's why everybody said no.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I didn't know that was. Yeah, thankfully they had 4 height standards, and two, and so one of the sheaf standards snapped.
Wow.
But I also like looking at the ropes on them. Like they didn't have the ropes very tight. So
it wasn't the ropes. It like literally just snapped in half. The pole snapped.
Yeah, there was a lot of give on the ropes.
Oh, I don't know how that works. I don't know anything about anything. Anyway, I'm so glad you were dry.
Yeah, we got lucky. Maybe we alternated with you guys because last year we got tons of rain and lightning delays. We spent like 2.5 hours inside the college's commons area because we couldn't compete during lightning. So this year we got good weather, and so maybe we switched with you guys. So it was a really, really nice day for us. So we were
That's
super
awesome.
lucky. It actually even wasn't super hot, which generally you can count on that in Minnesota, but every now and then it gets toasty. But yeah, really good weather. Super good turnout. Lee, the director, does a good job, and a bunch of my buddies, and a really competitive group of A's too, which was fun. It was like pretty tight. So good group of guys to throw with. Yeah, man. So I can talk scores later if you guys want to get into yours, or I can go into mine that stuff down.
I'll say we might as well. We're already on you. We're already on the subject of like the greatest amateur of all 2025.
There we go. Well, yeah. So it was a very average game for me, somewhat by design. And, obviously everything is relative, but and this is something maybe even be fun to talk about, especially with Lane has competed for a little while longer. But for some of you guys, like first season or two of competing, and so with Highland Games, if you have enough of a breadth, if you have a big enough calendar, if you're gonna find some comps in May all the way into August or something like that, you can kind of build a season. And any good athlete that has a season, they're gonna have a time where they're trying to peak. And so you want to kind of think through looking at your competing schedule and being like, okay, if I can forecast when a game is, I want to be as good as I can possibly be on that day. And if you want to get that peak, that necessitates lower performance at some point in the year or two. So I am in the thick of that part right now where my training volume is really high, both in the gym and throwing. So lots of lifting heavy, lifting often, and lots of throwing hard, throwing often, which is good. But you have to be okay with your performance dipping during that time just because your recovery is going to be down. So this is right in the middle of kind of that dip. With the plan of I had the amateur world championships in late August, actually here in Minnesota as well, which is really cool. And so I want to peak for that. So basically, my body is broken right now, and theoretically will get better as I taper all of that. And so that's just free to think about, even as you're starting to craft a season. So I went in knowing that would be the case. I definitely went in a little beat up, a little sore. But the cool thing about competing is you just get fired up and you're with your homies and you want to throw so far, so you still feel good. So not, I would give myself one PR. It's not a PR on paper. I did throw the hammer farther at Kirksville, but I will give this one a PR probably. But as far as the day, stones were okay. 38-foot Braemar, 46-foot open stone. We have really good stones, good situation. We were throwing a little uphill, so kind of the opposite of our experience in Missouri. So I had to deal with the negative consequences of gravity there instead of it helping me out a bit. But a really good battle in stone. We had Mike Jasperson, who's a really good am. I think he's in the 20s.
I've competed
Okay.
against him.
Yeah,
I
he's good. Yeah, really good thrower.
Yeah, and he was. I competed against him in Decatur,
Yeah,
and then he won stones and weights for distance, and I'm just I'm gonna get you. That's what I said. I'm gonna get you, and then I got him on light hammer,
nice,
and caber, and
there you go,
sheaf too. So I got him. So I beat him at 3 of the events. So I was
nice,
pretty
dude.
jazzed.
That's your MO is find the big guy and just try to track him down all day.
Yeah. I make you guys work for it.
Yeah. So Mike is very consistent. He's been throwing for a while. Really technically sound. I think hammers are probably where he struggles most, but he's a really good stone and rate thrower, especially. So we were really tight. I think he also threw over 38 in the Braemar, threw in the 40s in the Open, and then we had another guy, Elijah Talk. He is the head throwing coach at the University of North Dakota, and he threw collegiately at a way higher level than I did. Lane might know the name Judd Logan at Ashland University, legendary throwing coach. He threw in the Olympics with the hammer. That used to hold the American record in the Olympic hammer. So Elijah threw under this guy, so really high throwing pedigree. So Elijah can huck a stone too, and so we had multiple guys in the high 30s in the Braemar. I think he threw 38, 8. And then he also threw in the mid 40s. So we just had a dog fight in the stone.
38, 8.5, and 44-1.
There you go. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so it's
ranked 82nd.
Yeah, so just a dog fight in the stones. 3 guys, having 3 guys over 38 feet in the Braemar in a competition that's not pro is pretty wild, actually. So it was quite the show, especially for the Braemar. So that was really cool. And so especially going in not feeling that good, not having a lot of pop, it was okay, I gotta think. I gotta think about how my right leg is turning. I gotta think about finishing through the ball. It was actually really good for me because it was okay, I don't have all of my juice that I might normally have as far as being super recovered and really peaked. And so I need to think about what little technical things can I be emphasizing to grab that couple extra inches. Whether it's, the 2 things I was thinking about was really making sure my right hip got in front of the stone. So my hips were creating a bunch of tension as I push on the ball. And then secondly, trying to think about, I have a tendency to kind of let the stone just kind of come out of my hands. But if you get that flick, right, that the stone actually kind of pushes off your fingers and finishes,
Slingshot.
it goes owie. It hurts your little finger sometimes, which it did. My best throw of the day, I was like, ow, as I walked away. But that's kind of how I know that I did it right, if it's excruciatingly painful. And so, yeah, that was stones. I'll be quicker on the other events. I threw fine in the weights. 35, 11 in the heavyweight, nothing to write home about, and then 74 in the lightweight for distance. Felt really off in my technique there, so back to the drawing board. 96 heavy hammer, 120 light hammer. Happy with those numbers. Caber was by far the coolest part of the day. Our Minnesota North Dakota Throwing Association has a pretty difficult stick. It's pretty heavy, and also it's still about 17 plus feet, I would imagine too, but it is heavy. So it is not an easy caber. And so we have those two guys, Mike, who's like a veteran A, my buddy who I train with, also named Jacob Nowak, who's a veteran A. He actually trains people in Highland Games, super knowledgeable, really, really good technical thrower. We had Josh Veach, good experienced thrower. And there was actually one turn of the caber the entire day, and it thankfully happened to be me. It was the first perfect 12 that I've ever gotten with this particular stick, which was pretty cool. What made it more fun was there was a really big crowd during that time. We maybe had a few hundred people watching, and specifically some of my students that I teach were there, and so I could hear them like very clearly. They were like taking video and yelling, and some of my buddies and even a couple of my pastors were there, and I could hear, especially my senior pastor Sam has a really big voice and is really noticeable, and so I'm getting down on the caber and I can hear him, and I got like a 230 turn the first time. I didn't get a very good pull on it, so the second time I got it and it felt pretty good, and I could hear them screaming at me. And it was one of those of just planted. And as soon as the caber cleared my head, I was like, yeah, that's a 12. So I was celebrating before the caber touched the ground. I started to scream. My hat got launched across the field. Like, I'm losing it. And the crowd just pops because they didn't get to see a caber turn the whole day, really, until that point. I think even some of the other classes had a hard time getting their cabers. So it was like the thing everybody came for, and hitting that one, and specifically hitting a 12 in that context. That's like a top 3 Highland Game moment for me in my life. Such a cool feeling, and just people losing their minds was pretty special. So
Good job.
fun day there.
Nice.
Height events were terrible, mostly because I don't like height events very much. And we had a really weird chief bag that was floppy and falling off the forks. And then 14-foot in wob, kind of a lunch pail day with wob. Just get in, do your work, and that's my day. But caber by far was the highlight. That was like a quintessential Highland Games moment of getting a good pull on a difficult caber in front of a bunch of your friends. That was pretty sick.
Nice. Good job.
Yeah, great comp.
I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, how much? Okay, because like you're going into these comps like beat up because you're training so hard and stuff. How many days off are you taking before the competition?
In this case, I took like one, maybe two, if I can remember correctly. If I'm trying to really peak, I will not do anything for like 3 days, at least beforehand. But in this situation, I was still training pretty hard into the earlier part of that week, and then still hit like a light work. I'd hit like a decent workout on Thursday.
Okay.
And then gave myself like a 24 hours basically.
Yeah, which isn't enough, especially if you're training hard, because you need those 2 or 3 days.
Yep, 100%. And it's like, okay, I'm treating this essentially as a hard training day. I tend to take Saturdays to do kind of almost a mock game in my yard anyway.
Yeah.
And so it was like, okay, well, this is a real game, but this is training, getting in a bunch of reps and stuff. And so at the amount of time I've been competing, but also with my goals, you kind of have to be okay with games like that. Because if you peak for everything, you peak for nothing. That's kind of a way to think about it.
Yeah.
If you're too recovered all the time, you're probably just not training hard enough to have enough stimulus to then get your compensation of resting and then getting a big boost of recovery and having higher performance for a few days. And I learned a lot of those lessons in track in college too, for learning how to like time your peak.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I like that you have a deep reason behind my question, so thank you for that.
Oh, okay.
I like my reasons.
Sure. Yeah, man, that was a weekend. I'm sure there's more to say, but that's it.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, and two, it's like some of the thoughts of it get lost in the like week and a half that it's been.
That's true.
So
yeah, a lot of Little Debbie's oatmeal cream pies were consumed.
Yeah, dude, it's Uncrustables and White Monsters for me all day. I
Hard
was
to go
bartering White Monsters
Yeah.
like throughout the day. It's like, oh, you got an Uncrustable, you got cheese sticks. I got a White Monster for this and that. I traded one for a Gatorade. Like,
I love it.
yeah, those things come in currency at the games.
Yeah, caffeine consumption is crucial, and even timing of your caffeine consumption is important.
Oh, I
could do a whole tirade about timing your caffeine for Highland Games too, but I can save that for later.
I just time it for when I'm in the mood for one.
You're like me and you drink coffee as your caffeine consumption. Make sure you do it early enough so when you have to hit the porta potty, you're not about to start throwing.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's a great point.
Yeah, Lane has a story about that. So, Lane, why don't you tell us here on the 98% podcast about your porta potty story and coffee?
I lost about 4 pounds in there. I was gripping the imaginary handles on the side of that toilet seat.
Wrist straps for the handles.
Yeah, I had about 3 veins in my forehead and then 2 in my neck that were popping real hard. And I'm pretty sure that I got about 4 inches of lift off for about a 12-second sustained flight. I think I am the first to have any type of sustained flight without a mechanical device.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of impressive.
It's special.
Did you at least have wipes?
You know, I think I just picked up a leaf and just...
Military grade.
Yeah. But you wouldn't be able to tell anyway because it was soaking wet outside. I think it just turned itself into a wipe.
That works.
Yeah.
Poor Tiffany. He's getting traumatized over there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I can give you the exact same steps of what I did so you can also get a sustained flight if you'd like.
I'll pass.
Okay.
I already tried to fly my Prius once, and that didn't work out very well. So I think I'll keep my feet planted firmly on the ground. Thank you.
I don't blame you. It was not fun.
Well, hey, on that note, Lane,
I've already been yelled at enough by Dave Glasgow by pulling my feet off the ground on the sheath.
Yeah. And your bent elbow. No.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very stern no. Yeah, and I told him today, I was like, I got heat exhaustion today. I was like, I think I'm going to wait and do my practice tomorrow morning instead. And he's like, hear me out. Just throw 2 to 3 events today. Like, just put your volume down a little bit, but still train. And I was like, all right, I'll throw after dark.
That's fair.
okay.
So, yeah, I'll talk about my games. Started off pretty normal. We got there, and it was a little drizzly, and then everybody was getting checked in, and it started picking up just a little bit. We got through all of Bramer before it started pissing and pissing and pissing. Then we took a break, and then it laid off a little bit, and we went back to Openstone, where I tried my graceful spin, and I slipped and fell right on my ass, and I said, nope, we're gliding today. So my last 2 throws were glides, and I had a couple of people, namely Devin, saying, oh, no, keep spinning. No, I'm not giving you the free one. I'm still going to make you work for it.
Of course Devin would say that.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Glide, my friend. Welcome back
yes.
To Glide.
It's just like riding a bike. Just like riding a bike.
Glide's where it's at.
But no, it was so wet, and those stones. I feel like those stones are really porous and very sticky. What are you doing? That they just, I don't know. I just didn't like the way they felt. They cut up my neck a lot more than usual. Can I help you? Hi, sissy. Um, they cut up my neck more than usual, and the combination of the stone and the wetness, I just didn't throw as far as I could have. But that's what happens. Those were the only two events actually that were kind of subpar for the day. Everything else was actually pretty consistent with some of my PRs, which is really nice. Um, so yeah, I went 30 in the Bramer, and then 35 in the Open, getting like some odd inches. I don't remember what it was. And then from there, we went over to, was it Hammers next? I think we went to Hammers next. And I think I actually got a PR in the heavy hammer. Because the heavy hammer mark I have on Heavy Athlete is not my mark. The 91 feet heavy hammer was not my doing. That was Nathan Hauser's mark from Oklahoma that they gave to me on accident and still haven't fixed it.
Jacob, you got to compete against Nathan. He's a blast.
I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, he was at Amateur Worlds last year. He's
Oh, that's
awesome.
right. Aren't you guys both going to be there again this year?
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be a party.
That's exciting. That's
You
exciting.
guys should come up and watch. That'd be sick.
When is it?
August 23rd. I think it's a Saturday.
The weekend before is our Kansas City games.
It's also a Renaissance fair, so it's a party. But
And where's it at?
it was Shakopee, Minnesota. So like it's like 20 minutes from my house. And it's going to be a pretty sweet comp. We got 10 guys flying in from all over the country to get after it. And it's going to be cool.
How do you spell that?
Shakopee, Shakopee.
Oh, Shakopee. S. What? SHAK?
Yep.
Oh, Shakopee.
There you go.
It's only 6.5 hours.
Easy money. That's what I drove to get to Kirksville, to be fair.
That's what I drove.
It's almost a straight shot. Hey, I can get there on 1 tank of gas and still have a hair left over.
There you go. Well, yeah. Offers open. We can hang out because I live there.
Hell yeah. So I did. So yeah, I think I got a PR, a small PR in heavy hammer. I just was like a 78 high, 78 mid, something like that, with really, really wet handles. So that was really nice. It was almost impossible for the tacky to work. We moved to light hammer, and I got another over 100. I think it was like 101.
Nice.
So that's starting to get more and more consistent in the 3-digit mark. From there, we went over to, where did we go? Was it weights?
No, it was sheath and then wob and then weights.
Oh, yeah. So sheaf, we threw a 27.5 ton sheaf bag, and
I thought it was 26. Could have swore it was 26.
Sorry, 26 tons sheaf bag. Yeah. And tell me if I am mistaken or not, but I'm pretty sure I've always been told that amateurs throw the 16 and the pros throw the 20. I've heard it both ways. I don't care either way, but I have scores in for both.
I asked Langworthy, and he said amateurs throw 22.
Yeah, it's kind of regional.
He said the only time you throw a 16 is at like a legacy game. And so like Sterling, where they've just always done a 16, and then at Tom's, he always does 16. Like he's never like he doesn't like the 20, and he's always just kept it at 16. And so that's the only time like it's essentially kind of like allowed to do a 16 is just because like that's just what they've always done. But it's like but if you're gonna have a new games, the amateurs have to throw 20.
Okay,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I would say in my experience it varies. I've been to comps that done both.
Yeah.
And even this weekend we did a mix, or last weekend we actually had the A's threw a 20, but we were all together. And then the rest of the M's, so the B's and C's, threw a 16 because they were a little worried about our standard isn't super high in Minnesota. So they were curious if like me or Mike or one of the guys would like max out the standard. So like, oh, make them throw a 20. And they give us the worst 20 ever. So sometimes you can even do both.
Can't be worse than the one I made myself.
I would be willing. I'd be willing to compare. It was bad.
It's a full size potato sack that people use in like a potato sack race.
I love that.
Like
That's awesome.
it's like
I
chest height.
slowed it down as small as I could. I had to have enough room to shove in enough like straw to make it 10 pounds. So yeah.
It's the size
But
of
I don't have
Jacob's
them
upper
anymore.
body.
Devin threw it away. He thought it was trash and threw it away. So,
Who threw it away?
Devin.
Why? That thing was like an icon. You hang it
He
up on
thought
the
it was
wall.
trash and threw it away. That's what I said.
Oh.
I was like, I get so much crap for it. Now I don't even have it.
Oh, I found the company that makes it, but I forgot. I was going to tag you in it, and then I forgot. Now I can't remember what the name of it is.
Oh. I would love to know if they have any tips or tricks on how to break it in.
I'll send it to you if I find it again.
Jacob, I don't know if you know this. I have ran over it with my truck. I have put a drill through it over and over, and I still have to like work to get my forks in it every single time I throw it. Now it's just now getting to the point where I can get it in like 30 seconds to a minute. But like I had made it like a 7-minute time lapse of me just trying to get my forks in this freaking bag. It was awful. And trying to break it in, I put my pitchfork through my ankle, trying to like shove it down in there. I didn't realize how close I was standing to it and just put it right down in, straight down. That one wasn't so bad, but then the first time I actually tried to throw, I was like, dang it, I got my pitchfork in it. I'm going to throw this sucker. I don't care. And I went to throw it and I put my pitchfork through my knee and had to get stitches.
When you said to that time wasn't as bad, and it dawned on me there was more than one statue
No
which
way.
sorry already. Wow. Oh, that's awesome.
I had to go get stitches breaking in my sheath. So now I've started lugging it with me to games to try to get everybody else to like put their fork in it to help me.
It's pretty terrible.
It is. It's really
That sounds
tough one. I think it was maybe couch upholstery or something that was used on the side of it, and so there's a couple layers of it, and I just cannot get it broken. It's gonna last forever.
It's one of the famous, I say famous, it's one of the well-known sheath bags in the Highland Games, and I cannot remember.
Black Sheath, Clevenger.
Clevenger. I think it may be a Clevenger bag.
Sure.
Well, it's a doozy, and yeah, it can't be worse than that one. Your sheath can't be. It can't.
That's fair. Well, this one is the opposite. It just fell off. Every time we would backswing, it just started falling off. That's just hard to throw.
Yeah.
Tiffany, I'm pretty sure it's a Clevenger bag.
Okay. I don't know what that means. Okay.
The dude's name.
Yeah, you can look up Clevenger sheaths on Facebook too.
I mean, I'm going to be able to will this sheath to my children. It's going to last for generations.
And it still won't be able to be used.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
It just needs to be like a passed down like mounted piece.
So, yes, back to my sheath performance. What, Chip?
Oh, why did you remove the thing on your thingy? You said Chip can't spell, and then I put on my thing, yes I can, and then you remove it, and now I look like just a crazy person with yes I can below my name.
That was my intention.
Bastard.
So yeah, we threw the 26 and a half ton sheath bag because it was absolutely soaked. So I went to go ask if we could throw the 16, knowing it was still probably going to be 20, but it was going to be lighter. then or 20. That was forever, and they told me no. Uh, so I cleared 20, had the height on 22, I think, and it just didn't go over. So the sheath was kind of discouraging because I know at Tom's we threw the 16 pound, and then I was tickling 28, and I went from doing that to not even clearing 22 with the 20-pound bag, and it was really irritating. Um, but then after that, we went to WAB, and I cleared 12 on my first try, so that was really nice.
Nice.
So that was a consistent act on that part. And then I tried 13, and I left it out front every single time. I just couldn't finish through. So it was a little weird. So hopefully I can consistently keep hitting 12 like I was hitting 11 for 3 years, and then move up to 13 and keep on climbing. Eventually I might be as good as Tiffany. And then we went to weights. Weights was consistent. I was between 1 and 3 inches below my PR for my best throws of both heavy and light.
Nice.
So those were pretty consistent. It felt good. I had one that I swear was like 60, and then it was not 60 because I didn't get my chest up enough. Like it felt so good on my lightweight, and it just wasn't far enough. And then Chip shorted me one on my heavy. So
I did not short you one.
Fun fact: don't give Chip.
Dude,
Don't give the ADHD Chip the stick when he's watching throwing because he will not measure it accurately sometimes.
It happens every game, every fucking time, and I'm just like,
you're supposed to chase it.
I get so distracted because there's so much stuff going on. Like, and it started like people stopped like giving me the stick, and I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah, but you might just be banned.
But then after that, I was really good at like aggressively watching everything. Hey, I changed one little thing. I stopped looking at the freaking dirt whenever I throw my weights for distance. And my heavyweight, I'm throwing in the 30s now. So it's like, all right, I'll take that. So, and I was consistently throwing like right under 60 foot on weights for distance. So, and that was also after like 2.5 hours of like training nonstop, where like my jeans were so soaked. Yes, and this is like after working outside all day. Anyway,
jeans? What the hell?
I listen. I train in my overalls. Like I don't have to change in training. I just get home from work and.
But don't go playing with the rabbits.
I get to the house and then I start throwing, and it's nice because I don't have to change any clothes. I can just throw in my dirty, sweaty what I was wearing that day for work. So, I mean, I've already been outside all day, so it's like, what does it matter to be outside another 2.5 hours?
That's fair.
I was at least in the shade, so there's that.
I don't feel like I'm like flexible and mobile enough in my jeans. I just can't do it. I always feel like, especially since my thighs are so much bigger proportionately than the rest of my legs, every time I just shred them.
My jeans are really I have really big jeans.
I got really big thighs and ass, so I just
Nice.
rip out the crotch of my jeans every single time I try to do something like that.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, I got some cake. If you need some, hit me up. I can send it to you.
White chocolate.
Well, only if I have coffee beforehand. Otherwise, it's just straight up vanilla. So after we threw the weights, we went to caber, where the bottom of the caber was a half of a shot put, and I never had that before, and I did not like it. I liked my little tiny, my little cup bottom cabers where I can just cup it like this. No, this thing was way out here, just huge. It was like a 132 millimeter shot put was the bottom of the thing. So like
They were cool.
Yeah, I mean it was cool. Like the cabers were I think supposed to be like perfect cabers, but not perfect for my hands because in college I threw a 126 millimeter shot put because I have big hands, but I also like the little ball because I feel like physics. Throw a little ball goes further. I did not like the big ball on the bottom of that thing, and I didn't flip it, so that was kind of discouraging. But I don't care. Caber is not my favorite anyway.
Paper. I love paper so much.
I know. But then I had my own 10th event that I won because I was
Dominated. Not just one, dominated.
That
everybody
was
up.
so much fun.
Yeah. So my 10th event that I did, that I even was going around and I was picking on the cops because I was
Oh.
calling them weenies and babies and challenging them, and they kept telling me no, that they were too scared or they didn't want to get sweaty. It was moss wrestling. It was, yeah. So there, I got a bunch of videos, and I wrestled our buddy Will. I wrestled, I think it was Alex, or I can't remember the other guy's name. The other bald bearded guy.
I
Um,
don't remember.
I don't remember what his name is either. Was it John? I
I
think
have
it was
no,
John.
I have no idea. The
Um,
bra?
I wasn't there for that one. I saw
The bra guy?
you.
yeah, I think
Will.
so. Yeah, but no, I did a bunch of moss wrestling, and I lost like I think a total of 3 times. But everybody that beat me, I went back and beat them more than they beat me. So I consider that an undefeated day.
So it was yeah, you were the champ. You were like MVP at that. So
Yeah,
you're so quick. Like, cause I would have against him twice, and man, like, and they're like, he's fast, and I'm just like, okay, and I was shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, Link, so quick, like just boom, like right out of the gate. And that was impressive. So
I, me being little compared to everybody else, my whole throwing career has taught me to be very fast and explosive. I'm always the little guy, but I surprise people, and I love it. I like it that way. So as soon as they say go, I just explode and either catch you off guard or we're in for a fight. Because if you can stop my initial jump, then you have a really decent chance of pulling me over, pulling it out of my hand. Because my grip strength really isn't that good. Um, but if I can surprise you before you clench your fists and your muscles are ready to go, you're going to come over. And it was really fun, actually. It's the first time I've ever done that.
It was a lot of fun. I did Ellie and then Will's girlfriend too.
Brittany?
Yeah, we both wanted to try. I was like, you're going to beat me. Like, you're a lot stronger than me, and I'm fully aware of that. And she did. She beat me both times, but Ellie beat me the first 2 times, and then I beat her the second 2 times, not out of strength, but because I'm clever and I thought about strategy versus of getting the stick versus strength. I just focused on not letting her pull me over and getting the stick out of her hands versus trying to like muscle her over because she's a lot stronger than me. So
She will never admit that either, so I'm happy she's not in the room because she would have argued with you about it.
what?
That she's stronger than you.
She's obviously strong.
I know, but
A little tiny lady.
she would never accept it. I'm happy that she can get the compliment without hearing it because she would never
Make
accept
her
it.
watch this later. Let me love you, Ellie.
and be like, you can't argue back now. It's already been said. It's
Yeah.
already posted.
Uh-huh.
It's done.
But yeah, it was
that
pretty
was
fun.
It was a lot of fun. I just wanted to try it. So
Yeah, but no, I was running around. I was sat there for probably 30 or 45 minutes afterwards and just yelling at every random passerby that
you're just heckling everybody.
come wrestle me, come on. And I was heckling people like crazy, but the people running the event, they were loving it because they were getting the attention that they wanted because they set it up.
Mm-hmm.
Calling out old guys, young
It was
guys.
kind of a bummer that it was raining so much so that like there was not that much of a crowd until after we were done throwing.
Yeah.
So that was unfortunate.
Yeah, that's just how it goes. You guys were the only ones crazy enough to throw in the torrential downpour. We all took a break like pansies.
I would have kept throwing had I known we
lightweight
could.
women threw through the downpour. We were in the until they called for lightning. We were waiting under the tent, and then it was our turn. We just run out there and throw. But I forgot my boots, so I was having to throw in the rain in my Converse, and I was just trying not to like throw myself or go over the trig. So I was just I felt like I couldn't put any power, into it because I was slipping everywhere.
Yeah.
See, that must have been a lightweight thing because we continued to do sheaf the whole time in the rain too. We didn't stop.
Well, all the women, lightweight women and open women, we usually throw together, and so we threw through the rain until they made us stop because of the lightning.
I'm a pain. I'll admit it. I didn't want to throw in the rain. I don't care.
I was like, traditional Scottish weather, let's do it.
Track throwers are notoriously particular about their circumstances.
Oh, I've noticed about Lane. Lane is like, let me tell you, Lane is a princess when it comes to the implements, conditions, like, it is the funniest thing.
For 15 years with like perfect implements.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, Highland Games, it's very different.
And then I got a rock that has 482 sides and none of them are even. I'm like, what the hell is this?
It's a solid number.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't, it's like 500 something.
You think a 20-sided dice got a lot of sides. Wait till you see the stones we throw.
But no, it was a big difference going from throwing on consistent concrete to throwing in grass. You can do a lot of the same things. However, your timing, your weight distribution, and your speed is much different, especially if you're a spinner like myself, because I'm a little guy and I need every damn advantage I can get.
That's fair.
I'm not big enough to glide consistently. I can in a pinch to not let Chip beat me, but outside of that, not happening.
Whatever it takes.
That's funny because you guys are like, I glide, I do this, and I'm like, I don't know what I do. I throw the rock.
I just push it.
I move my feet and push rock. What else is there?
Listen, I must be doing all right.
You're number 4, so you're doing great.
Yeah, until Liz's numbers get in. She just dropped from open women to lightweight, and so she was just... I would have got third. Once I looked at all my events, I would have gotten third up at Sweet Corn, but I just no-hided on Wob. I don't know what happened. I was really having a rough day emotionally. That's like a really rough weekend for me, those dates, and so I was just having a really tough time. I think I just couldn't get my head in the game because I was just really having a hard time, like, just trying to, like, be happy to be there, and enjoy, all our friends and stuff being around each other, but, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty terrible. Wob is my favorite event. It's my very favorite. I love Wob. I just got a freaking 16 at Tom's house. And then I no-hided on 14. And I was going to come in at 15. Like, I'm just going to come in at 15, no problem. And I was like, no, I'll come in at 14 because I just don't really feel super great. And I no-hided on 14. So, and like, I came home and I was like, I know I can do it. So I threw it with left-handed and right-handed. And I was like, are you kidding me? Because I practiced Wob with left hands and right hand. So I was pretty disappointed in myself. Oh man, that was.
Yeah. Wob is a cruel mistress. I mean, the height events can be in general, just because every now and then those days happen. Your trajectory's off or something weird like that.
If I had to kill 2 events, it would be both height events.
Really? Sheaf I struggle with, obviously, because I put it through my knee, and so I have like
is the Lord's event.
Blocking me.
If I had to kill 3 events, the caper would be next.
Really?
Listen,
I love
listen,
caper.
bud.
Small woman,
Listen, bud.
That is the coolest event.
It is
a
cool event.
Rack throwers are and who the not rack throwers are. Very clear.
Well, it's just cool to be able to, like, I'm on the PTA, so to be able to go tell my other mom friends I flip a freaking log in a kilt over the summer. Like, it's just cool to be able to say, Huh?
I totally agree on caber. I think caber's dope and it's just but I hate events too. As someone who's professionally in ministry, sheaf is not the Lord's event. Sorry to break it to you.
So what would you say is the Lord's event then?
Clearly Braemar, obviously. I'm just kidding.
What a collegiate thrower thing to
Let
say.
you without sin cast the first
Oh,
stone.
that's right. That's right. Actually, I have that on a rock in my office because I think it's
Do
hilarious.
you really?
What does it say?
He basically he that's without sin among you, let him cast the first stone. It's a paperweight.
That's funny.
I think it's hilarious. If ever the situation calls upon it, I have a rock, but I am definitely not without sin. But
Listen, your argument is invalid. I have a rock. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, caber would be my third event to get rid of, but I do have my own caber. It is called my chode. Everybody has
That's
played
a
with
heavy sucker.
Yeah, everybody here has played with my chode except for Jacob. So next time you're down in our area or I have my chode, you'll have to throw my wood around and see how you like it.
It's short,
fast.
thick, and heavy, and it's thick. It's
It is.
thick.
It's a lot heavier than I thought
And
it
it's
was
only
going to be. I
4
was like,
feet
I want to
tall.
try, and it's heavy.
It's literally only 4 feet tall. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so my little caber is big enough to fit in or small enough to fit in the car, and it's like 4 foot long, and it's probably about that big around, and it's probably about 100 pounds for being 4 foot
Is it a
long.
telephone pole? Is it just a pointy chunk of a telephone pole?
Nope, that is a natural tree that I stole from my stepdad's house.
They're called
And it
power
was just-
poles.
I mean, you
Telephone
guys
lines
can
are
come
on
in the
them.
back and find capers back in the field. I know I have trees that are dead that you can cut down.
Speaking of that, I did find on Facebook there's a dude getting rid of, like for free, of old telephone poles. If you want to grab a trailer, we can get old telephone
Oh,
poles.
she's got a guy right down the road. Whole yard full of them.
Oh, really?
Wow.
No, it's a town. It's a joke for my town. There's this guy on a curb, and people hit his telephone pole all the dang time. And every time they hit it, he keeps them. And so he's got a whole bunch of them, like lining his house and his garden. He's got them all over, but he made them look decorative. Well, the last one they put up, they spray painted an X on it, so it's like X marks the spot. Nobody has hit it full on. Nobody's taken it out. Somebody finally hit it after a few months the other day. It made the community Facebook group.
I mean, he might be able to build a fortress before he dies if they keep hitting it.
Build a fence out of telephone pole.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
The capers at Chatham, were they like the custom ones that Merle made, or were they
Yeah.
like colorful?
Yeah, they
Okay.
were his colored ones.
Dude, Merle's such a legend.
Oh, I love that dude.
I've not gotten to throw those specifically. Those were around after I've competed there. But
I
those
really
are-
wanted to try, but they like I joke about wanting to try the men's ones, and like I'll walk by and say stuff, and they all like laugh at me, and like I'm like actually kind of serious.
I asked you at Casey's if you wanted to come and try my caber. But no, you had to drive another 3 hours.
What?
When you guys were at Casey's,
Oh yeah,
Macon.
I had to get home.
because like when we were all coming back from Chatham, it's only 2.5 hours for me, but they have to drive right through my town, and I have my
And Ellie had to
cabers.
pee. Yeah.
Yeah,
She always has to pee. That's nothing new.
Ricky, did you leave?
Yeah, I left right after the event. I didn't get home till 1 o'clock in the morning.
No, I'm saying right now. You haven't said anything.
Oh, I've just
that's
been
because
listening because
he
I don't
wanted
know.
to keep us under. He wanted to keep
I'm waiting
us at
my
an
turn.
hour, and we're running over time limit, so I'm going to make mine quicker. Lane, are you done? You got anything else to say?
Oh, I've just been jumping in. I'm done.
Okay, I'll do mine real
I
quick.
thought we were just hopping around today.
I think we were.
Oh, you're jet.
I just remember Ricky saying he wanted to keep it at an hour, and I can see his internal frustration kind of start to tick. But he's
We
trying to
still
be
have
nice.
2.5 minutes. Okay.
Okay, 15 seconds then. So first was Braemar. It was okay. Next was open. just start running through. So I had never been so excited to throw stones before because I've made such massive jumps in my stones working with Jacob Langworthy. Because when I started with him in June, like early June, I was throwing a 23, 24 foot Braemar. And one time I got a 29 foot Braemar and I was like, I don't count that. That was an accident. That's not a PR. I don't know what I did. I didn't even count that. Well, now uh, I'm throwing like consistently, like right at between 30 and 31 feet in practice, like every single time. And so, and then my open, I'm like consistently throwing like around 40 feet, like upper 39, lower 40. And like a couple times I threw 41. And so I was like so jazzed up, and I'm like talking all the smack to like Lane and Ricky. I'm gonna beat you guys and stuff. Like I'm coming for you guys. Like I was so excited, so excited. It rained. It was slick. My brain marsh was like, it was a little better, but it's like it was enough to where it didn't feel good. And then my open, because I switched from doing a baseball crow hop for my open stone. That's all I knew how to do. I was trying to glide, but I was so bad at it. I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I have no idea. And I'm just watching other people don't know what I'm doing. So anyway, and then working with Jacob, he has me do the MSA, Modified South African. Freaking love that. Oh my gosh. It's fun. And two, because I've never been an explosive athlete between being a baseball player, bodybuilder. I was more of a power builder and a skateboarder. Like nothing's explosive at all. And so now all this explosive movement's super new. So the MSA allows me to kind of get a little bit more explosive smoothly. And so I'm throwing, over 40 feet in practice. And then all of a sudden game time comes around and it's a little slick with the torrential downpour that we just had. I try my MSA and I'm like aggressively holding back. And so I looked up what I threw. It was like 34. And I'm like, gosh, dang it. And then, I'm slipping. So I'm like, okay, I'll give myself that. So the next one, I do a half turn drill for the MSA. So I'm like, okay, I'll try that. Do that. I throw it worse. And I'm like, Chip, what are you doing? So then the last one is like, I'm going to try the MSA again. And then I threw even worse. And I'm just like, so stressed out. So I was just trying to be like, okay, whatever. It's because of the rain. So then we go to hammers. Hammers are my jam. Like that's my bread butter jam. I love hammers. And so is caber. We'll get to that. Okay. Let's be patient. So anyway,
This has been longer than 15 seconds.
shush. Okay. This is anyway, just be quiet. Can you hear my dogs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what is that my dogs?
Well, now that I'm talking, they're like, oh, Dad's here. And they're like freaking out. They're upstairs in the AC. And Zolan, he's a husky that kind of looks similar to Lane's, except Lane's looks like a dog and mine looks like a baked bean. And he's a screamer.
I agree.
So anyway, we go to hammers. Heavy hammer, like it just, mind you, no tacky because it's wet. And so it's just like, whatever. So the handle we have is like, okay, I'm very against having anything on the handle. I like a nice slick handle, slips right out. And so I'm wrapping it up so we can at least get some type of grip with the tape. And heavy just felt really off that day. It just would not connect, and I was falling forward, and like everything was just off, and I couldn't get going. So I only threw like an 80 something in my heavy, which was frustrating me because I've been consistently like throwing around 90 feet or over 90 feet in heavy. So it's like whatever. Then we stopped there's lightning, I think. Did we stop for lightning before we did light?
Yeah, he wanted us to quit, and we said, "Oh, we're gonna finish our heavy first."
Yeah, because then we came back and then we essentially had to like re-warm up. Light felt okay, and my whole goal with light was to like hit the water because like 115 feet roughly down the field there was these huge puddles of water, and I was like, I want to hit the water. That's the goal. And so I threw like a 111, I think, and some change on my first one, and then I threw a 112 on my second one, and then my third one was like a 113 and some change. So hammers weren't bad, especially the fact like I was using no tacky at all. And Steven Derbeck, I really enjoy sharing the field with him. He's just a really great guy and stuff. And like I told him that the whole 3 o'clock thing, where you're getting your shoulders back over that 3 o'clock, and he threw over a 10-foot PR twice in a row. Because it's one thing if you do it once, but then if you do it twice, it's like, okay, that's because of like my 29-foot Braemar, I didn't count that because it's like, I don't know what I did. It's like a 5-foot PR. I had no idea what I did. But when you do it twice in a row, he also knew what he did, and now he's like consistently throwing like in the 90s. Super excited for him. So I got first in light hammer. My favorite part of the day was Will Toller. I've competed against him many times. This is like the third or fourth time, and he's beaten me every single time at everything except caber. I've beaten him at caber.
He's a mushroom,
and he's a fun guy. So
He's my big leader.
he came after I beat him at caber. He came up to me and he like did this little bow down thing, and he called me Hammer Lord, and he said, "I am legitimately proud of you." And he's like, "I've never been so excited to get beaten before." But it's because, and it like made me emotional because he knows how hard I've been working, like every week, training. Even like I've crunched my gym schedule down to 1 to 2 days a week, focus more on throwing. And so I keep getting closer and closer to him. And so I finally beat him at an event other than caber. And so it was this really nice moment between the two of us. So then we went to WOB. That's my love-hate relationship because sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm not. I cleared, I can't remember what, I think it came in at 11, cleared 12, and then 13, I kept hitting the bar and it almost would roll over and then fall back. And it did that 2 times in a row, exact same. And it was so frustrating. And it's frustrating because I got 14 feet last year at my second ever competition, and now I struggle hitting 13. So whatever, it is what it is. I'm slowly getting better. I'm getting to where I'm hitting 13 more consistently, or at least almost hitting it. Then we go to Sheaf. Jacob Langworthy sent me a text. I've been in my elbow too much. Obviously, I shared it on my stories. It was frustrating for me because I think I missed 20 feet, and I'm like Tiffany and her wob, and it's like, what happened? What's going on here? And so I think it was just an off day for me on Sheep, and it was weird. And maybe it was because, like Lane said, it weighed 26 and a half tons, and so it throws your timing off. But whatever, I can make all the excuses in the world. That there's pros out here throwing like 30-some feet with, a heavy sheath bag, and it's no problem. So at the end of the day, I just need to get better. No excuses.
Right.
I'm just so I'm going to complain the whole time.
Yeah. and you know what, Lane? I'm going to listen to your complaints. If nobody else will listen to them, I will listen to them.
We listen and we don't judge.
Oh, I judge.
Oh.
I'll judge. Yeah.
He definitely judges.
I'll judge.
It's okay. I judge back.
Good. I heard your little trash talking on my
Don't judge me, I'll cry.
Yes, she will.
I was waiting for you to tell me that you heard my commentary.
Yeah, I was waiting for this. I listened through it. Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to it. Okay. We'll get to it. So then we go to heavyweight for distance, and it's just sloppy. And then even in one of my heavyweights, I think it was my last one, I even fouled on, and the judge didn't see it. Like both my heels are out. And I've been almost called on that before. I've had judges be like, you're pretty close to fouling. So I've kind of had to fix my heavyweight a little bit on where I land. And 2, in practice now, I'm starting to throw over 30 feet head up. That makes a world of difference. And then I think Jacob called it as after your first turn and burn. And so I just really try to shoot around, and feels nice and comfortable. Lightweight for distance was my weights for distance just felt like kind of a mess. So heavy, I don't even remember what I got. It wasn't that great. I think it was a 27, maybe a 28. And then lightweight for distance, I think I got a 58. And it was just, I was getting that by that time of the day. I think everybody was gassed. I was gassed. I was getting frustrated. After that, then we go to caber, and I'm like, okay, I'll get first in caber. No big deal. Because these cabers, the pink caber that we did, I flipped it before at Decatur. I flipped it multiple times. And I'm just like, It's in the bag. Not even worried about it. Like, and so I go into the event kind of like cocky and like, because nobody's flipping. And I'm like, I will. And then you hear Lane on my video. It's like, all right, let's put your freaking money where your mouth is. Then let's flip the son of a bitch. So then I proceed to not flip it my first attempt, second attempt, and my third attempt, to the point to where I'm just like, I've never like not turned a caber. And that's like my event. And my training caber at my house is like heavier and taller.
Massive.
And so I'm just like so frustrated. And it's like, maybe it's because I was gassed. Maybe it's I can make up all these excuses, but at the end of the day, it's like I just need to get better at it. I do know the first time I went to go turn it, I went to flip it way too soon.
But you got your fourth turn, and I got it on video, and I was so happy. I was like, yeah, you got it. And then I found out it was like the fourth one, and it didn't count.
Yeah, so then, because I was telling the judge how I do a 360, I do the Vlad 360. So I pick my caber, and then I do a little 360 with it, and then go and practice. I do it every time. And that's just how I practice my caber every single time, because it's just like it's for the crowd or whatever. And so I was going to do like, I'll do a safety thing, I'll flip it, and then the next one I'll do my 360. Well, I continue to not flip it. And then the judge is like, well, I want to see your 360. So they let me do it a fourth time. They're like, doesn't count. So I pick it, do my 360, and I flip like an 1130.
Yeah.
And I was so mad. I was so like, the amount of just like frustration at myself for like, but I needed it. I needed that to happen to me because I was getting overconfident. I was getting cocky, and my little small victories that don't really matter that much, because at the end of the day, I'm just doing this for fun. And it humbled me in the sense of like, I'm just a regular guy doing what I enjoy. And I needed that loss to remember that just stay humble. Like, and that's part of the reason it's like why I try to be, or I personally feel like I'm good at a lot of things is because like I try to stay humble about it and not gloat. And then, of course, I started getting to where I gloated on hammer or on caber. And then it was like God himself was like, nope, not today. No, Chip. I'm sorry, but you need this. You need it today. You need to lose today. So, and so I like those moments because they're hard moments and they suck, but I needed it to kind of reset my brain back to where it's like, you're just a regular guy. Stay focused. Do what you're supposed to. So it was, I still got second in caber. Like I still had like the highest angle. There was one other guy that flipped it. And, but yeah, so it was a day of like the triumphs with Will and like winning light hammer, and then the fall and frustration with caber. So I really liked the contrast of the day. It was a big learning lesson for me. And I got to spend it with good friends.
Okay. That's a good. I mean, you're the tendency to get overconfident, actually specifically on caber height events, it can happen too, but caber it's really easy because there's literal perfection in caber.
Yeah.
And there's no such thing as perfection in any of the other events.
Well, and
weird because you can be like, oh, I've done this and I've done this perfectly on a regular basis. And I've even heard pros talk about, and other high level guys being like, so one of the dangerous things about caber is just going in expecting to get it. And so that's a great lesson, especially pretty early in your career.
Yeah. And it was because I had that happen at St. Louis where nobody was flipping the caber, and I was like, I'll flip it. And then I flipped a 12 on my first try, and I proceeded to flip it like all three times when nobody else could. And that alone, like it just started like it was confidence, and then it turned into overconfidence, and then it turned into cockiness. And that's why I needed it towards just to remind. It's like a good, it's a hard lesson, but we need those sometimes, and I'm thankful for it because it put me in check. So insult to injury, hearing Lane talk crap on my video, it's like, oh, put your money where your mouth is. Well, I in fact did not put the money where my mouth was. So it was, yeah. But that's how I like to go about like stuff like that. Those negative things, I try to find somewhere where I can turn it into it's a good lesson and it's a positive thing, and I'm glad it happened. So yeah, thank you for listening to Chip Sloan on this episode of
Not yet,
98%
Katie.
Podcast. Not yet, Katie. Get the heck out of here. It is Ricky's turn to walk and speed through this. Katie, can you see me? Can Katie see me?
No, the door's locked and I'm in a communal
Oh,
space. This is like the grown-up area. So, and I've locked myself in. So,
Hey, Chip, thanks for the intro, by the way. I heard it all.
you're welcome.
Okay, I admired that a lot. Okay, so so I'm gonna go really high level. First of all, pretty stoked. I got first place in lightweight, so I got that behind me. Pretty
those
Congratulations.
are
sick.
cool trophies.
It's super cool, and it's solid. So
Glad I
yeah,
got
I was
fourth.
stoked about it. Let's see. Start off. Caber was the worst. Um, I was the only person in my group not to flip it too, so
Really?
that was a good way to start off the competition. So I had to do a lot of catching up. Um, so yeah, there was that. So now I have a caber being made for me, and I'm going to start practicing it because I just don't practice it ever. And the one time I was at Tiffany's last time, I was flipping that caber. I was like, okay, I feel pretty good. Yeah, I didn't flip this one. So that's where
I
I need
need a
to
bigger
improve.
one.
Huh?
I need a bigger one for sure.
I need
For
to
sure.
bring my big one there.
Yeah.
I don't have my chode.
Yeah, we can always plan on
So
Lane's show.
funny.
But yeah. But Caber, obviously we had the storms. Storms are sweet. I love storms, so that was cool. We continued to do sheaf the whole time while it was storming. They even said like you should probably take shelter, and we're like, okay, and we just kept doing it until we were done. Um, but sheaf, yeah, it got super heavy, so I didn't do too good at that either. I think I got third out of the group. Um, then let's see, I PR'd in I think both hammers and both weights for distance. That was pretty cool. So I feel good about
Nice.
that. Yeah, and it just feels much better. So that was cool. And oh yeah, the best thing ever is first time, I wish you would have caught this on camera, is we had someone throw the pitchfork and the sheaf over the bar and make it. And
Wow.
so what happened is the sheaf bag was
Pitchfork for
so
height.
so the sheaf bag was so tight that I couldn't get my pitchfork in it, and another guy couldn't either. There was only two pitchforks that could get their way
Are
in
you
there.
guys throwing my sheep?
It's what it seemed like, and we literally they got it through, and the guy's never used this before, and he just is going for it, and he goes to launch it up, and he's one of those guys that lets go with his hand up top, so he let go, and the handle came off the bottom of the pitchfork, and it was stuck in the sheaf bag, and the whole thing went over, and he got it, and it's like, dang, that should be bonus points. So it landed with the pitchfork still in it, and it was awesome.
Uh,
It landed with it in it.
It landed with it in it. It was still in it the whole time because
that's
that's how
awesome.
tight it was. But it made
That's
it over,
incredible.
so we're just like, well. And even the judge was like, "I've never seen that at all in my whole career." So that
Is
was
that like
sweet.
extra points or a foul for not holding
I
onto your
mean,
fort?
we asked and he counted it, but yeah, no bonus points.
I think it
Bummer.
depends on the judge too, because like I've said, there's some judges to where like if you're wearing a glove and your glove comes off, they'll count it as a foul because
I
it's
heard
like,
that at
oh,
Tom's house because one of the ladies that threw, when she threw hammer, her glove flew with the hammer. And
yeah. And see that's the thing towards because I'd like to eventually be a judge, and that's the thing to where I just be like, listen, like shit happens. It's like as long as your body that's connected to you
yeah,
doesn't
some
fall
judges
over the
counted
trick.
as your person.
Yeah,
I mean, there used to be a rule I was throwing in college too, in high school. Like, you take anything into the ring and you don't ask permission to set it outside. If it falls out, it's a foul. Like, it could be a hat, could be your glasses, could be a towel. Whatever you bring in was supposed to leave with you. Obviously, if it was raining or super dusty or whatever, you can bring a towel in and ask the ref if you can set it out, or the judge to set it out, and they're usually okay with it. But I was used to that rule.
Yeah. See, I think our judge was just so stoked to watch that he was just like, yeah, it
It
counts.
counts. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's funny. Did anybody get it on video?
I don't think so, and that's the thing that sucks because I like wish because it's like only us guys and maybe just some other people randomly watching got that, so that's what was pretty crazy about it. But other than that, like I think probably my favorite event was actually weight over bar. I really enjoyed that. It was one of those moments where I did 14 last meet, and then that one I was trying to get, obviously I was trying to get first place, but it was me and this guy going back and forth, and he kept missing, but then he got 12 feet, and I was like, oh snap, he got it. So I got 12 feet or whatever, and then 14 came up, and if I wouldn't have made it over, then he would have taken the lead. And so first attempt didn't make it, second attempt didn't make it, but then the third one just went over, got 14 again, just landed so perfect. I was like, dang. And even he ran up to me and he jumped in my arms. I don't know why he was so stoked about me winning, but so
Did you catch him?
I did catch him, and it was right after I threw, and I caught him. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it was good.
That sounds romantic.
So that was a highlight, dude. He's funny because he keeps reaching out all the time too. He wants to compete again, so we'll have to do it. But he doesn't live anywhere. His name was DePaul. So DePaul Dowell. So he's like my last name, but minus the MC. So we're related somewhere. So yeah. But other than that, I mean, I don't really have too much else to share. Like pretty good event, PR'd, for the events, which is cool. I think probably my favorite thing that's not related to the Highland Games was learning about Tiffany's laughing hands. I think that might have been the funniest thing.
My cataplexy.
Well, because I didn't know about it, and I'm just over like, what are you doing with your fork? Like, what is going on here?
I couldn't hold it.
I know, and then I found out about it. I was like, oh, that's hilarious, but it's not hilarious. But I was like, I just didn't know that about you, so it took me by surprise.
Do you want to explain to Jacob what it is?
Okay, so I have narcolepsy, and there's two different kinds of narcolepsy. Some people have it with cataplexy, and some people have it without. I have it with, but I have a very mild form of it, and so some people, if they laugh, they'll like lose consciousness and like fall asleep. But for me, if I laugh really hard or have strong emotion, I lose muscle tone in my hands, sometimes my jaw and like my knees. So if I'm laughing really hard, the first thing to go is my hands. So if I'm laughing really hard, like if I'm eating, I can't like hold my fork, or like I just have to like stop what I'm doing and wait for like to have any kind of.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's really funny when it happens sometimes, and we're all usually like, it's when I'm already laughing a bunch and then it happens and it makes it funnier and laugh harder, and then I still can't use my hands. But that's why I'm like more serious in competitions. I'm trying to like be serious and not laugh as much because I'm not as strong when I laugh. It's science, brain science.
I made her laugh so hard one time that she like half passed out in front of me.
I love it.
I had to sit down. I didn't half pass out, but I did have like
half pass out, halfway to the floor.
Hefty sleep attack, and I had to like sit.
Oh, we're both in the weird disorders club, so sweet.
Yeah.
So I have Tourette's, so we're good. We both.
Yeah, narcolepsy is weird.
Suicidal.
Yeah.
Well, man.
Are we just all throwing things out here now? Is that what's going on?
That took a turn off a cliff real quick.
You're like, I'm normal.
Good.
Yeah, in competitions, I can't like laugh a bunch or joke around a bunch when I'm actually throwing because I can't like.
Or get cheered on.
It's very distracting.
I had the whole crowd yell at me for cheering her on.
He had gotten them like chanting Tiffany, and I was just like all I could hear was "Go Tiffany, go Tiffany," and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing.
And then and then she screwed up, and she like yelled at me, and then the whole crowd's like, "Yeah, Chip, that was your fault. You suck." And then like the next time she goes up, everybody's like, "Shut up, Chip. shut up, Chip, don't say anything. And it's like coming it from like every direction. Like it's like I've never felt so small
It was
right now.
mostly Kindred, like getting him going. He was
Oh,
so
dude.
much fun.
Do you know Kindred? Kindred Cook?
I know that name.
He's like big black guy, dreads, like loud.
I know of him.
Oh yeah, he's my like
He
the
was such
funnest
a
person
hoot to
throw
watch
around.
through all day.
Yeah, yeah, he's a blast.
I always knew when he was throwing because I could hear him yelling.
Yeah, he's a good time.
It was fun.
So that was Chatham. Chatham was a good time.
Was a
So-
good time.
The hotel pool was very relaxing as well.
No, it was not.
That was
You don't like the sound of like 20,000 kids screaming in a concrete room?
No, I do that every day. I needed a break from it.
I don't
You
think I've
did?
ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen Lane so upset in my life either. Like in person, he was so ticked.
Dude, it was bad. Like I deal with
You
screaming
thought we
kids
had bad implements.
today. I don't want to do that when I'm on vacation. It was not pleasant because they were not being reprimanded for disrupting everybody else. They were playing with equipment that they shouldn't have been touching. They're going around touching people they shouldn't have been touching. There was
one
a
little boy
Touch.
kept touching me.
yes, and there was a baby
Man, please stop.
on the chair by themselves, 45 feet away from their parents, just sitting there. If they wanted to roll, they would have like hurt themselves real bad. Like it was bad,
Dude.
and they were just completely content. Even the parents were sitting there encouraging them to scream at the top of their lungs.
Dude, Lane, one of the kids was like, "If I drowned, would you save me?" And I said, "Yep." So he started to pretend to drown, and I walked off.
Oh my god.
It's like this. I was like, "This is weird."
yeah.
Lesson
Hell yeah.
1, kid, never trust anyone.
Don't drown in front of Ricky. He will say yes and then dip.
I mean, he said pretend to drown, so I was like, I didn't realize he was going to try to put me to the test. So I was like, nah, apparently you can swim. I'm good.
That's funny.
Yep. Okay. Well, anything else before we close out the podcast?
Everyone throw far.
I'm gonna
Farther.
get you on Chief next time.
Don't know height on wall.
Um,
Bring it on.
my advice for myself is don't be a bitch. That's my motto here recently is don't be a bitch.
Yet bitches about all the implements all the time.
You said what?
Yet bitches about all the implements all the time.
Oh, you're saying our life mottos?
Stay alive.
Jacob, are you going to be in Kansas City for our games?
When is it?
August 16th.
August 16th.
Unfortunately, no. I've got a kind of a tune-up game in northern Minnesota.
Gotcha.
A week before Worlds for me. So
Good
That
luck
would
at
be sick.
Worlds.
thank you.
Yeah,
I
super exciting. Super cool.
I'll try to win. We'll see. It's gonna be really hard, but
Where we throw like the perfect field. It's all flat, so there's no advantage to hammers.
all right.
Yeah.
I would love to get down there. It'd be fun to get back on the field with you guys again for sure.
And it's right on the Missouri River, so it's kind of peaceful.
Where
and
do
kind
we
of nice.
throw? I have no idea where our games are.
For the Parkville one, are you saying?
I think they're in Parkville somewhere.
Yeah, drive to downtown Parkville and then just turn left, and then you'll drive straight into it.
Cool. Well, hey, Jacob, thanks for joining us for the first time in Highland Games podcast. It was nice having you on here.
The number one amateur in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Burger's coming after you with that. That what was it, like a 52-foot Braemar, or was
Yeah.
it like 50? It was nuts.
I mean, a 60-foot open stone. Yeah, I can't hang with D1 shot putters from Nebraska. So dude throws bombs. If the rest of his events click, we're all done. Not just me, the pros. We're all done.
Yeah, that dude is. Yeah, I was like, did you guys see that? It was like a 52-foot Braemar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a world record. So
Yeah, I mean he's a world class shot putter, and his dad was a world class shot putter and Highland Games athlete. So
yeah,
Oh, he
Didn't
was like
nudge.
just the world record.
he was an inch shy of the open stone world record.
yeah, he's a big problem for all of us, and emphasis on big. I think he's like 6'8". I haven't thrown against him.
That is a mountain of a man.
And so me and my 6'1" in the morning, if I got a chiropractor adjustment the night before, I got my work cut out for me with some of those big boys.
Nice.
Cool.
Very nice.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. That was awesome.
Yeah. Always a
Thanks
pleasure. Okay. Well, thank you all so much. And until next time.